Rich people smell so bad, and it's because they've gotten all that money. They feel like they don't have to shower. For example, why do you think these designers are now making people sign contracts and policies when when you have to rent their clothing? Because celebrities and rich people soil these designers' outfits that they're renting because they've not showered or bathed in 2 to 3 weeks. You have some people who will post for y'all, go on trips, and not wash their ass for 2 to 3 weeks on end. They hopping on and off planes, access to plenty of showers. They just won't do it because they feel like they don't have to. They literally think their shit doesn't stink and that they don't stink. They bring a cloud of funk when they walk by. When you're invited to a rich person's home, the house is clean, but the person is fucking nasty. They have a bad odor to them, and that's because they've let money cloud their judgment. Why do you think you don't see rich people repeat outfits? Because they've stained up the shit that they wore. Skid marks and all of that, they soil everything they put on because they do not wash their ass. I don't hang around rich people anymore. When I told my mama that, my mama busted out laughing, but I am so damn serious. Rich people are some of the stankiest folks I've ever met, and I make sure I keep my ass from around.
Celebrities who allegedly smell bad. Number 1, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. This celebrity couple shocked fans when they revealed in an interview that they don't bathe daily. Even for their kids, they said they only wash when they see dirt. Naturally, the internet had questions. Number 2, Matthew McConaughey. He proudly says he hasn't worn deodorant in over 20 years. According to co-stars, he believes his natural scent is just fine, but not everyone agrees. Number 3, Julia Roberts. Multiple reports claim she avoids deodorant and prefers essential oils. A former bodyguard once said her earthy aroma was memorable. Number 4, Robert Pattinson. The Twilight star once admitted he rarely washes his hair, saying it cleans itself. Crew members from past sets have hinted he had a noticeable presence. Number 5, Cameron Diaz. Cameron is proudly our anti-deodorant, claiming she doesn't believe in blocking natural sweat. She's said to prefer a natural lifestyle, but some co-stars weren't thrilled.
Hi family, I'm Judith Ugo. Rich people smell so bad. Rich people don't shower. They believe because they have so much money, they don't need to shower. Rich white people, they find it very difficult to shower. Some don't wash themselves very well. They don't wash their ass. They don't wash themselves. That's why they stink. Some celebrities, when you ask them, they will tell you, some proudly say that they don't bathe, don't wash. They don't shower 3 times in a week. They can shower once or twice. Wow. Celebrities. But they don't believe that the way you smell shows who you are. But because they have the money, they can buy different type of perfume that will make them to smell nice. Nobody will know if they have bathed or not. And some, because they believe they are white, they are neat, they only shower when they find out there is stain on them. So that's why they stink. Some also believe on their natural scent. Oh, how could it be? Stinking, it doesn't present you in the right way, no matter how much you have, no matter how popular you are. But because they don't have time. Like these celebrities, when would they have that time? When they are on a contract on the road. So, but it's very awful, very bad not to shower. In 3 weeks you shower once, twice. Wow. Family, continue to watch.
Good and rich all the time. It's not just niche perfume, but How many times they apply it? When they shower, apply it. When they go out from home, they apply it. When they go out from car, they apply it. When they go in meeting, they apply it. It's a mix of bakhur and oud and perfume. It's not about using perfume which lasts for 6 hours. It lasts 6 hours, but it doesn't spread. If you want to smell like them, spray like them.
First of all, human beings aren't meant to wash up. Haha, look at that. See? Ooh, my eyeball's dirty. Aren't meant to wash up every single day their whole bodies. They're just not. That's how people get ashy. That's how people damage their skin.
Do white people fight a shower? I'm not understanding. What's the point in fighting soap and water? You'd rather have dry skin than get diseases like the bubonic plague, scurvy. I mean, you guys literally came over to America dirty as fuck. You definitely need to be washing your ass. Online proudly talking about how you don't use a wash rag, talking about how you don't really take care of your hygiene, your hair, things of that nature. Proudly. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And at least wash your ass. And the thing is like there probably are people who take time off from, washing their ass or something like that. To be out here proudly talking about it is weird as fuck. It is weird as hell. You know what I mean? Especially if you outside working in any field. You're sweating, you got dirt everywhere. Yes, you need to be washing your ass. I don't understand it. And it's always white people online just specifically talking about how they don't take care of themselves. That shit doesn't make any sense.
How you smell changes how people treat you, whether you realize it or not. Before you speak, before they know you, before they decide if they trust you. You can be smart, capable, well-spoken, but if you smell bad, something closes. People pull back. Conversations shorten. Distance increases. Not consciously, automatically. Because the smell is not a preference, it's a signal. It tells people if you're put together, if you take care of details, if you notice yourself. And here's the uncomfortable part. You don't get feedback. You don't get context. You don't get a second chance. People won't explain it. They'll just adjust around you. That's not judgment, that's biology. Your presence speaks before your personality does. Presence isn't what you say, it's what people experience.
As a white woman on Black TikTok and as a white woman who has visited, I think I'm at like 20 countries at this point, the whole concept that white Americans are not as cleanly as maybe other races or other cultures, it is true. Now, before all the white people come for me, obviously this is not the case for every single white person. It doesn't even have to be the case for you. But as someone who has friends of all races and has lived in and visited numerous different cultures, like white Americans have a very unique concept of cleanliness. Just to give an example, I ran into my neighbor today and I was like, oh my God, I love you wearing a hat. She just looks so cute with a hat. And she was like, oh yeah, I threw it on because I didn't feel like showering the last few days. That's actually kind of normal. That's actually not an abnormal thing in white culture. That is like completely normal and definitely something I grew up doing. You would not shower every single day. And I saw another white woman break down this whole thing and it was so interesting. And she said, I'll have to find it, but she said something about like growing up, they'd be like, oh, well, if you swam in the pool or the lake, like you don't need a shower. Like, I'm pretty sure I was told that sentiment as well. Just the whole ideas around cleanliness are so different. Now, I'm also coming from a background of the South. So Alabama, Georgia, Florida are where I've spent a lot of my time. I've traveled all over the world. And for example, I was just in Tokyo for a few weeks and they are just so much more clean. They wash and shower and wash their actual hair every single day. And I know, by the way, that there's a lot of different cultures that do different things. Like not all hair types need to be washed every single day. But I'm just saying, out of all the cultures that I have been friends with or I have visited or lived in, us whites are really unique. And out of all my black friends, like, there's a reason that on here, black women talking about body care and like different things they use, it's because black women like really take it to another level. Like, black women are some of the cleanest women I have ever met and take very, very good care of themselves. The skin is always skinning. And I've seen some people break down like why this is, that white people like do not shower every day or aren't as into their hygiene. And I have a personal take on it. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I haven't seen it. But I really feel like it's this idea that white people have that they are just innately cleaner than like everybody else. Like, white people are just clean. We're just so clean. And that's the reason that a lot of white people feel like they don't need to shower every day or every other day, or, you know, I don't even know how much. And simultaneously, I think that some of those white people also view like other races to not be cleanly, but they literally view their whiteness as cleanliness. And I think that has to do with like some white people like feeling like whiteness is pure and clean and better than and whatever. I feel like maybe that's the root of it, but that's just my take. And also, as someone who's dated a variety of races, like, I like every person. I'm more like the person for who they are. Of all the men I've dated, I will honestly say I feel like, unfortunately, white men struggle the most with their hygiene.
Okay, has anyone else heard about how billionaires smell bad? Like, they have a distinct smell. Like, once you become a billionaire, there's like a smell that's like associated with it. Like, I don't know if I've ever been around like a bunch of billionaires, but like, okay, has anyone else heard about how billionaires smell bad? Like, they have a distinct smell. Like, once you become a billionaire, there's like a smell that's like associated with it. Like, I don't know if I've ever been around like a bunch of billionaires, but like,
Dior Sauvage, every guy wears it. For poor people. Paco Rabanne Invictus, too common, nothing luxurious. Poor level. Bleu de Chanel, popular but not true luxury. Poor category. Amouage Interlude Man, complex, rich, unforgettable. Billionaire scent. Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Mal, overrated and basic. Poor fragrance. Bond No. 9 New York Oud, bold, unique, expensive. Millionaire level. Armani Acqua di Gio, classic but cheap now. For poor people. Roja Parfums Elysium, elegant, refined, extremely costly. Millionaire energy. Versace Eros, flashy, too loud. Poor fragrance. Yves Saint Laurent, La Nuit de l'Homme, sexy but overused. Poor level. Creed Aventus, iconic and expensive. Millionaire's choice.
You smell like shit. If you want to smell rich and smell good all the time, ditch this shit. I switched out my laundry pods for these laundry sauce ones, and literally the lady at Starbucks today sniffed me twice. She asked if I could lean a little bit closer and she could smell me. These laundry sauce pods are a game changer for smelling. Ditch your colognes, ditch your perfumes. I don't even wear them anymore because this does all the work for me at a fraction of the cost. I love the Australian sandalwood flavor. It smells so manly, so clean. But my girlfriend loves the French saffron because it smells very floral. You can grab a 40 pack of these right now for the lowest price I've ever seen on TikTok Shop. And if you go on other websites, you're gonna see that it's double the cost of what it is here. I dropped the link down below in that orange shopping cart. So grab these before that price goes up.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret because I know nobody is talking about it, and it's either going to really upset you and be total rage bait, or you're going to be totally on board, or maybe just a handful of you will know what I'm talking about. Old money aesthetic is not just the fabrics you wear and the clothing you pick and the colors you choose and all of that. In reality, it is mostly a careful set of behaviors and fragrance. And I know that sounds very funny, but your energy when you walk into a room, how you carry yourself, how you speak, and also what you smell like. There are a handful of scents that when you go into certain neighborhoods in certain cities around the world, they speak volumes because these are very sophisticated scents that can only be worn by people who have sophisticated palates and the budgets to back them up. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not Chanel. Do not come at me with Chanel. Chanel is great. I have nothing against it. But Chanel is marketed to be upper middle class luxury. It is marketed for the masses, that the average woman out there can go save up and invest in a Chanel perfume, which is great. I think that's phenomenal. And if you watch my other TikToks, you know that I am a big proponent of saving money when you can save money. This stuff is Palm Beach and Chanel is Pompano Beach, okay? I don't know how else to explain it, but this is Kriegler. If you've never seen it before, this is a 50 milliliter bottle. It is stupid expensive. But when you walk into certain rooms, certain people know immediately what you're wearing and almost respect you for it. So you can love that or hate that or whatever. I'm on board for everybody's emotions with all of this. But I didn't want you to not know.
Washcloths are for poor people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I only had one friend use washcloths, and when she would stay with me, she'd say, "Can I have a washcloth?" And I said, "I don't have washcloth.
Yeah.
There's no washcloth. Use your hand, dummy."
I really do remember the first time I crashed at a poor friend's house, and then he handed over like a towel for after the shower, and then a bar soap, and then a little one. I go, "What's the little towel?" And he goes, "A washcloth." And I go, I threw it back at him.
The overwhelming amount of comments that are in there just surprised at the fact that we don't use washcloths is astounding, but it's also telling. It's telling me that you guys don't know enough white people because, yeah, we're barbarians. Like, we are barbarians, savages.
Every so often, the whole us colored people not using washcloths discourse pops up on my For You page. And it's true. 90% of the white people I know do not use washcloths.
Do you use a wash? Not do you shower? Do you use the actual washcloth?
I have a washcloth in my bathroom that I use for my hands when I wash my hands after using the restroom. Does that count?
In the shower?
No, in the shower.
Do you use?
No.
I want to ask you, do you use a washcloth?
No, I do not.
Why don't you use a washcloth?
Because I'm white.
Do you wash your hair every time?
Well, I only take like one shower every 6.
This discourse talking about how white people don't know how to wash themselves is really fascinating to me, and so I want to share my experience about how I actually learned how to wash and what it looked like in my white supremacist Mormon household growing up. Now, I always had washcloths available to me. They were always under the sink. It wasn't really enforced or taught. It was always in the bathtub. And it seemed like there was just kind of like one in there and then we'd change it every week. I was never touching it. I don't know if my siblings were touching it. I know when we were younger we'd play with it in the tub, but when it comes to washing, the grossest thing that still grosses me out to this day thinking about it is how we would share bathwater. I had 4 siblings, we'd all share bathwater. When we were younger, it was either like 2 and 2 would go, or like after we'd each go in the last person's bathwater. The grossest thing was my older sister, we're 22 months apart. She sometimes would shower with my younger sister, and when she was like 9 or 10 years old, our youngest sister came to us and told us that, hey, there's yellow stuff in the bathwater. And my older sister tooted. And we're like, what? We ended up getting out of my older sister that she was peeing in the bathwater. Now, mind you, me and her are 22 months apart. We shared bathwater my entire childhood. I always thought we were clean until 2005 when I moved to Atlanta. White people don't talk about cleanliness. White people don't talk about cleaning themselves. White people don't talk about lotion. White people don't talk about their hair nearly to the scale that the black community does. I went there and I was dumbfounded by how much they held each other accountable to their appearances. Nails, hair, everything pristine all the time. And my mom, I felt like, was very much like that growing up, but it felt like this was like up like 10 notches. So that's kind of where I learned most of the things you should be doing, like moisturizing after you shower. I learned that in Atlanta.
So I found something out today. There's a certain closed off secret group of white people that don't use washcloths. They don't use them. Why? I've never met a white person that didn't use a washcloth. I never heard of this. This is all new to me. I'm white. I grew up white. I'm still white. I'm going to be white in the future. I'm always going to use a washcloth. I never heard of this. Why? I'm just, I'm more disappointed than anything. I'm more disappointed. They're cheap. They're cheap. Go get a washcloth. Why are you rubbing your hands? You gotta scrub it. You gotta scrub it, white folks.
House without a washcloth. Now you gonna use a washcloth to wash your butt. Older white lady looks at the younger white lady and looks at her kind of strange, and she goes, "I'm sorry." She says, "I'm confused. You use a washcloth? You bathe every day?" So the younger white woman looks at her and goes, "Yes, ma'am. I bathe every day, sometimes 3 times a day. And yes, I grew up using a wash rag." White woman looks at the younger white woman and then looks at me. She goes, "I can understand why she bathes every day, but I'm confused why you do. You're white. Your skin is pure. White skin is pure. We don't have to bathe every day because our skin is pure. Black people have to bathe daily because they don't know when they're dirty, and their skin is not pure as our skin." What? So the younger white woman looks at the older white woman and then looks at me, and she looks and says to the older white woman, she said, "Are you serious right now?" She goes, "I'm very serious. When I was growing up, back in the 40s, I was always told by my mama and my grandmama and my aunts and everybody in my family, white skin is pure. If your skin is darker than my skin, you need to bathe every day because you have impurities in your skin. Black people don't know when they're dirty."
Woo, I just got hot listening to that. Y'all get one of these fans. This blows out really good. But listen, the fact that she was dead ass makes me laugh. Now, I'm not the lightest, and I ain't the darkest, but I damn sure would know when I'm dirty. I damn sure would know when I'm dirty. When I was a kid and I didn't want to take them baths and stuff like that, I would see the dirt revelating. Just pack it up. As a black girl, as a black woman. And besides that, the functivity of it all wouldn't want you to get into the shower, the tub. Then you talking about pure. So they told you this in the 40s, and you probably 80 years old at this point, still believe in it? So you old and funky. Sure. But then again, I wouldn't even know how. If I was that black girl in the mix of that conversation, I don't know. So let me get this straight. White skin, you can't see the dirt. Like, you would be able to see the dirt faster on the whiter skin than the darker skin. I'm just being logical. I'm not coming for the white race. I'm not saying this race is better than that race, but you would be able to see the dirt on the lighter skin before. That's just my logical thing in life. And it seems like the lighter skin will get dirty looking faster because it is lighter. So she's saying basically we don't know when we dirty, so we gotta just continuously wash.
Welcome back, family. I hope you really enjoy yourself. Please, if you find this video educative, please subscribe and like. I will see you again.